All right, hey everyone, welcome to what hopefully will be a shortened version of Trading Bitcoin with your host Tone Vays, mostly because I have so much stuff to do. Ooh, much better with the light. And I forgot to turn that on. And let's take a look at the markets. The markets definitely moved today. I was spending my morning working, and unfortunately, I have to run out the rest of the afternoon. And therefore, tomorrow is going to be an incredibly long day preparing for the workshop. Let's go to screen share. We'll jump right into it. Hey guys, so tomorrow I will be teaching, not tomorrow, sorry, Saturday, I'm going to be teaching a workshop on intro to technical analysis. It's going to be only technical analysis, nothing else. There's not going to be any advanced indicators. There's not going to be anything about sequential, maybe a brief intro. There's not going to be anything about my own indicator that I'm going to use to replace sequential. Very, very little, if any. This is everything else. You can click on the details, but it's actually a little more than that when this thing loads. You can also, scroll through the general description as well. And it's actually going to be a little more than this. I'm putting together like 12 indicators here and in order, like it's going to be kind of detailed. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. If you want to support, check out the affiliate page. Right before we go to the charts, my friend Zazo from the live chat sent the following link. Breaking news: Supreme Court upholds a New York grand jury subpoena for Trump's tax returns and other financial records, rejecting his call to give presidents complete immunity from criminal investigation while in office. This is not necessarily a problem for Trump. This is a problem for anyone who is going to run for president in the future. It doesn't really matter for Trump. Trump will get reelected. Well, not will, but Trump will probably get reelected. Okay. Now, this is, of course, look, the main reason why Trump is most likely to get reelected is because for the last 4 years, the Democrats have been trying to achieve this end goal instead of helping the people of America. Instead of, working with the president that got elected, they decided to basically make his life and his job a living hell. And the people of America will hold a grudge against the fact that no one was able to admit that Trump won the election fair and square. And it doesn't matter if these tax returns show, the biggest tax dodge by a human being. All it will show is that is what smart people are doing. This does not help anyone, but this hurts every single government official or anybody who wants to be in government official, which I'm actually okay with. Basically, if Trump is forced to give up his tax records, if I was Trump, and I'm not Trump, I don't want to run the country, but if I was Trump, I would immediately file to personally look at the tax returns of every single member of Congress. And that's what I would do if I was Trump. I would have Trump's lawyers petition based on this ruling that not just the president isn't safe from disclosing every single tax return they ever filed, but every single member of Congress. And then we're really going to see what they're made of. Okay. So this Trump should spin this in that if I have to give up my tax returns, so will everybody else. And that's going to be beautiful. I can't wait to actually see that. Hopefully he will do that. Okay. Now let's talk markets. Here is the hyperwave that, love it or hate it, it is still with us, and it rejected the price once again right at the downwards sloping trend line. Let's go to the live weekly look. Today we pulled back quite severely, actually, and while everyone was getting bullish, I kept saying, hold your horses, hold your horses. The S&P is going to pull back, and Bitcoin is going to drop. And there we are. And just like clockwork, once again, we touch this trend line and fall. And while everyone that knows anything about trading with technical analysis sees this trend line there, everyone seems to ignore the fact that it's there. And I know it's not easy. Trading is not easy. Trading is always hard. But once again, TA proved that it does its job and rejected the price earlier today right off of that trend line. Let's go to the daily chart. The daily chart had broken out of this channel, which was probably drawn a little prematurely. We're now back at the bottom of the channel. If tomorrow was another down day for Bitcoin, that's it. This channel is going to disappear. I have this guy. So it turns out this is not the indicator trender. This actually is the indicator called super trend because I didn't write the code. My devs wrote the code, but I asked them to write me trender, but it was very, very difficult to find the formula for trender, and we're still looking at it. But my dev happened to find the formula for something very, very similar to trender. It works the same way, but it uses different math on the back end slightly, but it's visually identical. It's just that the math is different. So I've been like back testing this thing for the last few days, and I absolutely love it. But now we're still trying to put together an indicator called trender, and we're struggling a little bit to get the actual math, but hopefully we'll figure it out by Saturday. So lots of work to be done. And this indicator is still saying that you should be holding your bullish trade on Bitcoin, but I would be very, very cautious. Right now, while the daily Bitcoin is still a smidge on the bullish side, I would be very, very cautious here. Now, the weekly remains completely neutral. Like I said, there was nothing weekly Bitcoin was going to do this week to make me bullish. If I was going to be bullish, it was going to be next week. But if this candle closes the way it's looking right now, if this is the price at the close, then next week will never make Bitcoin bullish either. I will need one more week after that, because then I'll need another week to close at or above the trend line, and then a week after that to actually break it. So a close like this on this weekly candle delays any bullishness from me for another week. So I continue to look at this as the make or break candle for this 1 to 4 candle pullback, because we already had a 4 candle pullback. So any further weakness, if this candle closes at a new weekly low, if next candle starts trading lower than current candle and closes lower than current candle, that is a very weak sign, and I would be looking for a more significant pullback in Bitcoin. Here's the 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart, now that I'm looking at it, the CMF is looking pretty weak. I got my own CMF now. I shouldn't even be looking at this one. Hold on. Let me put my own CMF. We built our own CMF. I'm also not going to have time to rebuild all of the indicators because I just hate the way they have them. But we have our own CMF. Where's my CMF? This is my CMF. Boom, much better looking CMF. So there we go. Way easier to read, way nicer. And these are not public yet, but they will be. I will make them public. I will make them free. Don't worry. I'm not charging for that kind of stuff. So right here, the CMF is going bearish once again. This is not looking good. But most importantly, it's all about this low. This is the low. Oh, why am I on dotted lines? And why is it so thick? Much better. Okay, that is the critical low. That is the low from earlier this week. That's the low from July 9th, okay, or last week, whatever. What's today? Damn, taxes are due. This is, oh, I'm sorry, it's a 10-minute chart, not the 4-hour chart. I have it listed as a 4-hour chart, but it's a 10-minute chart. Okay, well, the TA doesn't change. So on a 10-minute chart, this is a very critical level. I was about to say, like, if this was the 9th, that I missed my tax filing because that's due very, very soon. So this is a 10-minute scale. Below this line, Bitcoin gets in trouble a little bit, and I think it's going to break down further. Let me go to the 4-hour chart where this is supposed to be. And now we can get rid of this line because it doesn't matter. And on a 4-hour scale, this is the old line. This is that old line. I keep saying how this is a very critical line for Bitcoin on a 4-hour chart. Every time it breaks this line, it starts to crash, but then it gets pulled back. starts to crash and gets pulled back. And you know what it's slowly making? It's slowly making a nasty descending triangle on a 4-hour chart, because that's what it feels like. So I'm going to zoom this out. I'm going to, well, the CMF is still looking good. And I'm going to zoom this out. And on a 4-hour scale, it's not a great descending triangle. I'm probably going to delete it after I draw it. But I do need to attempt to draw it to see what it looks like. It obviously doesn't have to be green, because I've been doing like screenshots for the workshop this Saturday, and that's why all this stuff looks different than it normally does. So first of all, this needs to be red. Probably be using visibility coordinates. The background light red, and this shouldn't be this thick like that. All right, so not the best drawn thing I've done, but, and this needs to be further extended. And this needs to be lowered. And there you go. So once again, we're back to a descending triangle, mostly on a 4-hour scale. And this looks pretty bad. Not really, you know, well, you get the point. It's not that bad. I have basically 4 points of contact on each side of the triangle, which is more than what I need. 1, 2, 3, and that's the 4th. Well, that's the starting point. So 3 points after the starting point. And then we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is actually very clean on the descending triangle part. So let's see if we can consolidate into this triangle. So I'm going to leave this triangle on a 4-hour chart. To me, this is a clean look at a triangle, and we'll see what happens. Love the triangles. All right, GBTC is obviously pulling back as well. Shitcoins are pumping. Old season may be upon us. Shitcoins are pumping. The IQ is lowering, and it's getting very, very bad. And clearly, Bitcoin is not ready for prime time. The crypto space is not ready to challenge the traditional markets. The stupidity has no bounds. I don't want to name any coins, but you know which coins have been pumping this month and last month. And all of a sudden, everyone forgot about the coins that were pumping last month and last year and the year before that and the year before that. And in 2 years from now, there will be other coins pumping, while the current coins that are pumping are going to be relegated to uselessness. That's how it always works. So Bitcoin dominance is dropping, and therefore IQ is lowering. So this tells me basically the average IQ level of the people in crypto. So as this gets into that 90 range, it starts to look better. All right, let's move on. Gold's pulling back. Everything is pulling back today. Today is a risk off day. As you guys know, right here, I exited my long trade in gold. We kind of came back to where I sold it, but it was an options play, so I would have had lost money because of time decay. I would love to buy gold on a pullback. So I am still bullish gold. I still think gold has some upside. So I will draw the best fit line right here. That is my best fit and breakout line. I should make this not red, but maybe blue or something. And if we pull back to that line, I would consider gold potentially a decent buying opportunity. Would have loved to see it make it 2 more days to the upside to give me a nice sell indication at the top. But if it doesn't do that, I'm happy to buy at the low. Silver is showing a very good reversal candle, and silver will top tomorrow. So silver could be potentially a short play because silver had a monster rise. Oil is pulling back as well. Finally, like I've been saying, that I was hoping that it would, top on Friday, but it looks like it topped yesterday. S&P 500 is probably pulling back again. Look at this. So the S&P about 20 minutes ago. This is the 10-minute futures chart. Beautifully tops right with the new tone Vays indicator, which will have a giant red arrow. Maybe not this giant. Again, these numbers are going to be going away over time, probably by end of year, and there will be an actual my own indicator. The name is still to be determined. I already bought some domains. I'm probably not going to trademark it, but maybe, you never know. And there will be the arrows are not always going to be in line with the nines. There are some changes to what I'm doing, but it does have some similarity. And boom, reverse right there, and now we're going down. So let's see where the S&P closes. The daily look at the S&P is we were dropping really hard, but see, here's the thing. Do I have volume on this? Let's open tone Vays volume indicator. Like I said, I'm redoing all the indicators by putting my own experience and changes into them. Tone Vays volume. Let's see if we get anything, because I don't know if this thing has volume. It does. Beautiful. Okay, that's why you see these yellow bars and things in here. So I'm very curious where this closes and if the tone Vays volume is going to be red or green, because under the tone Vays volume, this could be green while the candle is red. So let's see where that goes. Okay. Let's see where that goes. Trying to see if there's an example of that here at the bottom. Yeah, right there. See this candle right here? See this reversal candle right here? I know it went a little bit lower for 2 days, but this candle here, notice how it has a green volume bar, and this candle here has a yellow volume bar. So these are just some of the differences in my volume versus the volume that you get as default in TradingView and most other products. All right, I'm gonna leave the volume actually, because I want to see what it looks like tomorrow. I probably won't have a video tomorrow because I'll probably be panicking the fact that I'm not ready for my workshop yet. So I'll be working. So here we are, and I would love to see this top on Friday, not today. So a lot of people probably want bearish, and if those stops get hit, I can definitely see a crash coming in next week, but not this week. Okay, that's pretty much it. I don't really have much else to say. I do want to take a look at the Shanghai Composite. I will be doing OBV. I'm doing a bunch of new indicators that I haven't taught before. I mean, I know them. I just haven't taught them. I had to go back into my notes. It's been a good 10 to 15 years, but that's okay. Indices. I don't look at Shanghai, and then I may have to call it a day. Don't really need OBV for this. Let's drop it. Look, Shanghai is still pumping. That's incredible. So that is really something. So let's see if this thing tops. Let me get let me open this up. Yeah, so it should be topping tomorrow. Let me also pull this up. So we should be topping tomorrow. So here, look at this. There's a green arrow right there, red arrow there, green arrow here, red arrow there, and tomorrow there's going to be a giant red arrow. And yeah, this thing is ready to top. So it's going to be very interesting. I think tomorrow there is a there's a good probability that the Shanghai composite tops tomorrow, or it already topped today, and tomorrow is going to drop. So, which tomorrow it probably will drop because the S&P is dropping today. So it's possible that we have topped. To what level do you think the S&P can crash? Good question. I don't know. I think the most reasonable place for the S&P to crash to is actually not that low. Because we've spent so much time, I think the highest probability of a crash is only down to 2,900. I think 2,900 has the highest probability. If it drops lower than 2,900, then I think the next level of the drop is 2,650. So 2,900 is level 1, 2,650 is level 2. If we go below 2,650, I don't know. I think we can be in trouble, but considering how much money they're printing, I don't see that happening. At this point, I do not anticipate new lows. I really don't. I don't anticipate new lows in the market the same way I don't anticipate new lows in in Bitcoin. So my highest probability is 29, and my second highest probability is 26. Let's just say I'm a big buyer at 2,650. I don't think it's going to go much lower than that, because if it goes lower than that, I'm taking the stop loss and I'm just going to wait for 2,000 at that point, or I'm going to wait for new all-time highs. I just don't see it happening. Am I going to short Tesla? I don't know. Is it too late? Is it too late to short Tesla? Tesla options are too expensive. I'm not sure how I'm going to play Tesla. It's, ooh, that's interesting. Oh boy. I have actually have an idea on how to play Tesla. I do have an idea of how to play Tesla. Shit. I can tell you guys, but you're just gonna screw up the trade. The only people that would understand what I'm about to say are the people that took the options course, probably. So I may consider it, but that's the thing. I'm so busy. I don't want to sit here and babysit Tesla. I'm not doing it today because I have to leave in 5 minutes. So tomorrow, I would consider doing a trade known as the put ratio back spread. That's what I would consider. That would be the only trade I would attempt to do on Tesla. The put ratio back spread. That would be my trade. All right, I gotta go, guys. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget, I am teaching. Please support with the affiliate page, but I am teaching the workshops this Saturday and then 2 weeks after that. And they do go together. They complement each other, okay? Their webinars is going to be about 6 hours long, and it's only going to be TA. This is the one where we apply that TA in trades, okay? So, but in order to not to be lost in here when we do those mock trades, you have to know what trades we're doing based on TA. All right, that's it, guys. Also, in the educational section, we updated the graphics. I'm gonna, with these, man, these took a while to make. I have one minor correction to make on this because I just realized it. If you think these things are easy to make, they're not. But yeah, feel free. I mean, these are, feel free to use these as your cheat sheets. We're going to try to make a lot more of these to help traders out and make them look really, really cool. All right. So enjoy. Also, once this workshop is over, I'm going to rewrite Learn Trading, and I'm going to make it a lot more useful. And all of this is, of course, free. Okay, guys. That's it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all on the next one. Probably not tomorrow, though. Probably not. Maybe, but probably not. So, and definitely not Saturday. So Sunday or Monday. Bye, guys.